Your 20s are an incredibly exciting period of your life. You might have a bit more money in your old pocket and certainly more freedom. Most people in their 20s think they're invincible. I used to think so too. Honestly, maybe I was a bit, but the truth is, in your 20s, you're more vulnerable than ever. If someone makes a financial mistake at this stage of life, it will have a significant impact on their future. Each of these mistakes is very different. So it's very, very important that you watch this video until the end. Otherwise, you might fall victim to one of them. So hit the like button. Okay, you did that. Now let's get straight to the main point. Number 1, not using free time. In your 20s, you are incredibly rich in one way. You've got bundles and bundles of time. You can do so many things to turn your spare time into cash. And if all you're doing is wasting your free time, all that potential income is slipping away from you. This is also the best time to invest in yourself and enhance your skills. In my 20s, I used my spare time to design. This allowed me to produce and sell them worldwide. In fact, one of my biggest designs became the best-selling remote-controlled airplane in the UK. The original design for this airplane was done in a classroom when I was bored with a geography lesson. So developing those skills from an early age helped me a lot. Number 2, trying to keep up with friends. We all have that friend who always seems to have a better car, a better house, and sometimes even a more attractive partner. Let me tell you a secret, okay? Most people are pretending anyway. In 2020, the average American household credit card debt was over $5,700. This is astonishing because it means that the friends you are trying to compete with likely have more debt than you. Ultimately, friends who need to be impressed are not real friends. Real friends are the ones who love you unconditionally. They stand by you in times of trouble and are there when you need them. They are the ones who don't care what you spend your money on. Number 3, drinking too much and partying. When you're drinking, it's easy to get caught up in the moment and spend much more than usual. This is the downfall of most people. It's one of the things that keeps many people poor and, of course, prevents them from investing. I'm not saying going out and enjoying yourself is wrong because you need to do what makes you happy. The key point is that everything is fine, but in moderation. You might think that saving a few dollars here and there doesn't make a difference, but your dollars are worth more when you're younger. By investing it instead of spending it on something you didn't really want, it will be worth much more in 20 years. 4th mistake, delaying retirement investing. When you're in your 20s, retirement seems very far away. Many people delay investing in their retirement until they are 45 or 50 years old due to many excuses. They have a mortgage to pay, they need to save for their children's college fund, and, of course, there are holidays. These lost years can cost you a lot. Let me explain. If you invest $100 a month for 30 years with a 7% annual return, you would have $116,945 in your retirement fund, and this can continue to grow until you retire. But if you delay investing in your retirement for 10 years and invest the same amount for 20 years, you'll only have $50,000 in your retirement fund. Yes, it can grow, but you're starting from a very low base of just $50,000. $50,000 is a lot of money to lose, and the reality is that $50,000 would have only cost you $12,000, so that's a lot of free money. I was very lucky that my mentor advised me to save and invest in a pension from the age of 18. I've always been told to save at least 10% of everything you earn, and it has given me the ability to use that money in various investment opportunities such as business, real estate, and stocks and shares. Even Einstein said that compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. 5th mistake, not having an emergency fund. Now, Over 60% of millennials wouldn't be able to cover a $1,000 emergency. That's 60% who don't have enough money for a minor emergency. I know I talk about this a lot and emphasize it often, but that's because it's super important. I learned it the hard way. When I was 19, I purchased a car that I needed a loan to buy. The engine lasted about a month before it blew up, leaving me with a huge debt after putting a new engine in the car. I had purchased a car I couldn't really afford. This led me into a cycle of debt that was hard to break free from. I made the decision to get clear of debt and worked my ass off for a year with many different side hustles. I never wanted to be in that situation ever again. Sixth mistake, moving out of home too soon. By slightly abusing your parents' generosity, this is going to be the smartest move you will ever make. It's also the best value accommodation you'll ever get, so don't take it for granted. I just wanted the freedom without my parents being around. I fell in love with this beautiful apartment. Well, to be honest, it wasn't exactly beautiful, but it was perfect for me. As I walked in, I realized this could be mine. I started to imagine my big red couch in the living room, my desk, house parties, and how impressed my friends would be. Before I knew it, my emotions got the better of me. I signed up for a mortgage and moved out. You know what? I wasn't ready. I didn't have enough savings, and my apartment ended up losing a lot of money over the next couple of months. It all worked out in the end, of course, but it certainly wasn't the best move for me at the time. Everyone focuses on the mortgage payments. They might be great, of course they are, but you have to look at all the other costs of life. When I was 20, just my food bill was quite high. I'm 6 feet 4 inches tall, so I ate a lot. Rent, upkeep, car bills, travel expenses, and the list goes on. So, figure it out and stay home as much as you can and invest your money. Number 7, going into debt to buy a fancy car is a terrible idea. When you have income, it's very tempting to upgrade your car and impress everyone with your success. We're bombarded constantly with YouTube videos about 19-year-olds buying Teslas, Audis, or Lamborghinis, and believe me, it's not smart. Nowadays when you want to buy a new car, they don't ask you what car you're interested in. They ask you how much you can afford to spend per month. They don't care about the car you want. They focus on the financial sale. They want to lend you as much as possible and stretch you out longer to get the most money out of you. Most cars have a steep depreciation curve, meaning they lose their value very quickly. And before you know it, your car is worth half of what you paid for it, even if you fully bought it. Be honest with yourself, step back, and take a good look at the car. Focus on cost balance. In fact, the true cost comes to you when you calculate the financing. Then, take a look at the price of a car that sells in its 4th year after purchase. It's truly astonishing how much you're expected to lose. The only thing you gain from buying a new car is saying, "Look, I have a new car." You should really say, "Look, I'm in big debt." The key is to buy a used car or a pre-owned car at its minimum depreciation point. With some research, you can choose an attractive used car, drive it around for several years, and likely sell it for the same price you paid or maybe even a bit less, effectively making the car almost free, with running costs only being fuel and a bit of insurance. You can enjoy all the benefits of having a good car without losing a lot of money. Number 8, relationships and expensive dates. Relationships get very serious in your 20s, believe me. It's really tempting to spend money on expensive dates and expensive restaurants to impress someone you're in love with. Now you really want to spend money on someone you love. But if you start a relationship, you're bringing in your old money. Usually, people attract mistakes. You want someone to love you for who you are. Your interests and hobbies are not the size of your wallet. Many people want to get married in their 20s. But again, the fact is that you can't marry in your 20s. Since I met my true love, it took almost 16 years to really get married. The reason was that we had a clear idea of what we wanted from that day. And of course, if we had cut ourselves off, this memory would never have happened. I can still think about that day and people still share their good opinions about it. So it's worth doing it later, as you have more money to use to create that great day. The important thing is to live within your financial means and invest in your future. So I'm going to post new information on this, but I'm still not clicking on them. If you want to know more about your wealth's growth while you're young, make sure to join the community and click on the old bell to keep it fresh. So, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.